Welcome to episode 2. Today you're going to be crocheting your first stitches. So we are going to get right into it. The first thing that you want to do is you want to learn how to make a slip knot. When you crochet in rows, this is pretty much how you're going to start every time. So the first thing that you want to do, this is how I do it. There are a lot of different ways to do it, but I'm going to show you how I do it. Make a loop. Okay, so let's do that again. You just take this, make a loop, and then you're going to pull a loop through that loop and you're going to tighten it, and that is a slip knot. Well, let's do it again. This is going to take some practice. Don't get discouraged. You'll be able to do it. So we are making a loop like that, and then we're going to put our fingers inside of the loop and we're going to pull another loop through that loop. Okay, then we're going to pull it. This is a very huge one. So that is how you make a slip knot. Okay, so we're going to do it one more time. I usually leave, you want to leave a tail. I usually leave maybe about your hand length, maybe a little bit more. Okay, because you need that tail to weave in at the end. So always leave a decent amount, about, I don't know, what is it, 6 inches maybe? And we're going to make a loop like this. And we're going to put our fingers through the loop and pull another loop. Hold both of these when you pull the loop through, and there you have a slip knot. Okay, you want the slip knot, it needs to be, see, it's a slip knot because you can make it bigger or smaller. It needs to be big enough to put our hook in. So you should have a 5mm hook, like I told you in the last episode, and a skein of weight for yarn. Where's the little thing on this one? There. It's upside down, but weight for. Okay, and I'm using this ombre color today, but you could use any color you like because we are just practicing. So you have your slip knot, you're going to put your hook through, okay? And the tail should be on the right side. I am right-handed. If you're left-handed, I'm really sorry. Everything's going to be backwards. You're going to tighten it up so it's not too tight, but not too loose. So you want to be able to run your hook through it. That's about as tight as you want. I put the yarn usually over here on the left side. Positioning the yarn, I remember doing all of this stuff. It's where do you put your yarn so it's easier to come out. Usually I have it on the left. Because, yeah, I mean, if you put it on the right, it just gets uncomfortable. You're pulling this way, but, you know, it's mostly, this all is mostly about preference. There's no right or wrong way. So now when I hold the yarn, you see some people will wrap their fingers around it. I don't do that. I just hold it between these two fingers. The reason why people wrap around, or even how I do it, is because you want to get the tension. You see how this is straight between my fingers and the yarn? The reason why people wrap it around their fingers is because they want to get a constant tension going. It's very important that your work has the same tension throughout it, because that's going to make your stitches look very uniformed. So this is going to be total preference to you and how you feel like you want to do it. You can see how other people crochet and how other people hold their yarn, and find a way that you like, that you feel comfortable with. This is how I've always done it. And if you do it this way, at first, you're going to squeeze your fingers really tight and your fingers might start to hurt. I've learned to not squeeze them as tight. You don't really need to. You just need to barely squeeze them to get that straight while you're crocheting. So it is all preference on how you hold your yarn. Okay, so you're going to hold your yarn to get your tension. We're going to start with chaining 11. When you start in rows, you always start with a chain. So It's kind of the hardest part. You're not gonna feel like you did it right at first, but it takes practice. Just practice it. I want you to do this over and over again until you feel like you have it right. But once you do it a few times, you'll get it. So don't worry about it if it doesn't look like mine. I've been crocheting for like 30 years, so it's gonna look different. But I'll try to go real slow, holding the yarn I'm working with in my left hand between my fingers. And I grip this one. This is the section that I'm working with. I'm going to take my hook that's in my slip knot and I'm going to pull it through. And I'm going to wrap it around, pull it through that loop. And this one's the hardest one. So there you go. You want to make sure your loop is not too tight. You got to be able to put your hook through it. So that's one. Going to do it again. Around, pull, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to grab it over here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I'm going to move my fingers up and grab this right here. 10, 11. Okay, now see how I'm holding my hook? I'm holding my hook like a pencil. Some people hold their hooks like this. Okay, this is all preference. It's all preference how you want to. If you feel more comfortable holding your hook like a knife, you go right ahead and do that. I hold mine like a pencil. There's no right or wrong way. There's no right or wrong way to hold your work like this. There's no right or wrong way to hold your yarn. It's just whatever is comfortable with you and keeps your, whatever keeps your stitches consistent. Okay, you want to keep your tension consistent. Yours probably does not look like this, and that's okay. It is perfectly okay. I'm going to show you actually what yours probably looks like. We're going to start over. Okay, I'm going to do a loop. And then I'm going to pull the yarn through to make another loop through that loop. And there's my slip knot. Okay. We'll put my hook through, tighten it up a bit, not too tight, it has to slide. Okay, so yours probably is going to look something like this. Oops. Okay, yours might look something like that, and that is perfectly fine. That's actually really good for starting out. If yours looks like that, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just we're going to keep going, and you will get it. So we crocheted 11 chains. Now, the reason why we crocheted 11, we're going to make 10 single crochets down, but you need 1 chain for your turning chain. Okay, so what that means is that a single crochet is about the same height as 1 chain. And I'm going to show you here. So that is a single crochet, and your chain is right here. So basically, if you're crocheting, if it was a double crochet, you would have 12 chains, because 2 chains are about the height of a double crochet. So that is why oftentimes when you see a pattern, it'll say crochet in increments of 5 plus 2, because maybe you're doing a double crochet. So people get really confused with that. It's not that you chain in increments of 7, you chain in increments of 5, but then you add 2 on the end because that is your turning chain. Okay, I hope that made sense. All right, so we're going to start with a single crochet. From the second chain from the hook, we are going to start. So the second chain, this is 1 chain. Your chain on your hook does not count. Okay, you're going to count. This is 1 chain. This is 2 chain. So this is where we're going to put our hook, in the second chain from the hook. Let me show you that again. Okay, you start from the second chain from the hook. This is 1, this is 2. So we're going to put our hook through that. It's really hard to do because I'm looking at the video. Okay, put our hook through that, and that is where we're going to start. So you put your hook through. Okay, you try to put the chain on the bottom, and then we're going to go around and we're going to pull it through one loop. Okay, and then we're going to pull it through both loops, and that is one single crochet. Now, since we are starting this, I want you to get out a stitch marker. Okay, and we're going to mark where this first one is. When you do your first chain, mark it, because if you don't, there's a high possibility that when you come back around, you're going to think that this is a stitch and you're going to add a stitch, and that's where people start getting their work wobbly, and maybe it'll get bigger or it'll get smaller. So we're going to mark that one because that is stitch 1. Okay, so we marked it, we put the stitch marker through the 2 loops at the top. Okay, so that's our first stitch, and we're going to crochet down this chain. Crocheting in the chain is going to be the hardest part of your projects. It's always hard to crochet in this first chain. Once you get the first row, it's a lot easier. Okay, so don't get discouraged on this. You will be fine. So now we're going to do stitch 2. Now we went in this stitch right here. That was our first one. So we're going to go in the next one. You see the little V's? Those are stitches. So we're just going to go right into this one. And if you don't, if you put it under, there's like a stitch in the back. If you put it under there, that's fine. As long as it's consistent. It's always, your stuff will look good if you're consistent. So just put it in the same spot every time you do it. So we're going to pull up one loop, and then we're going to pull through both loops. Okay, so that's 2 stitches. Now let's do it again. We went in that chain. Now see this V right here? V. It's like a sideways V. That is 3. So we're going to put the hook through the yarn, pull it up. So we have 2 on our hook. Pull it through. And how many stitches is that? 1, 2, 3. That's 3. Okay, so now stitch 4. We're looking for the V right here. This little V. We're going to put it through the top. Pull a loop up. So we have 2 loops on our hook. Round over, pull through both loops. That's 4. Now we're 5. We're just going to do this all the way around. Put our hook through, pull a loop up, 2 loops on the hook, pull a loop through both of those. That is a single crochet. Okay, we're going to keep going. Through, pull up, 2 loops on the hook, pull a loop through. Okay, then the next one. Pull a loop through that, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through. Okay, and then the next one, we're going to find right there, yarn over, pull up, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through. That's a single crochet. Okay, for the next one, pull through, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through. That's a single crochet. Okay, and this part, this is where people get confused. If you get confused, just count them back. If you look at the top, those are your stitches. Okay, so you have your first one marked. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're at 9 stitches, and we're doing 10. Okay, so see how it looks like you could do 11 here? This is where some people add a stitch, okay? But this one right here, this is our slip knot. You don't want to put one in there. All right, so that's why you make sure you count. This is our last stitch in this row. Yarn over, pull through, 2 on the hook, yarn over, pull through. Okay, and that's your first row. So you have your first row of stitches, you have your first stitch marked, and this is your last one. And then we're just going to pull that tail a little bit and see how it went up there. There. All right, so now we're going to turn our work and we're going to do 10 single crochets going the other way. Now to do that, we're going to chain 1, okay, because this is our turning chain. Chain 1, and usually this does not count as a stitch in a pattern. Then we're going to turn. So we're going to turn our work this way. Okay, so now the back of the work is facing us. Then the first stitch, it might be hard to see where the stitch is because you just turned. Usually I pull my thing up and then I could see that this is a stitch, so you're not don't accidentally go here. You want to go right here. If you pull it up, you can see, but you can also count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is the 10 one right here. Okay, you just counted it. So you're going to put your hook through both. You see how there's a V on top? You want the hook to go through both of those V's. Okay, you're going to go through both of those V's. This is your first stitch in your second row. We're going to yarn over, pull up, so you have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through. That's your first chain. Now we're going to mark it, okay? So we're going to get out another stitch marker. And we're going to mark this stitch so that we don't add or subtract a stitch when we come back. Okay, so I just put the marker right through both of the top loops, both of that little V, because that's how we know that's a stitch. I'm going to put that right there. Okay, so now we have that marked, and we have the last stitch marked, so we know when to stop. This will keep your work very straight and keep your stitch count good, so you won't be adding or subtracting stitches. So that's 1. Then we're going to put it in the next one, which you can look on the top, is right here, this little V, and you want to put it through both. Okay, so put it through both, yarn over, pull up. So there's 2 loops on, yarn over, pull through both. That's 1 single crochet. Okay, put it through both. Yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through, and we're just going to do that all the way down. 2 loops on the hook, pull through. My kitty says hi. Okay, so this is 9. And now we're at our last stitch here. Okay, so we know it's the last stitch. We're going to take this off. And we're going to put the hook through both of those. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through both. And there we have our 10th one. And sometimes people think this is a stitch way down here. That's why we mark it, so you don't add a stitch. Okay, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 stitches. So you have 2 rows of 10 stitches. See how it'll curve? Don't worry about that. People sometimes panic if you're doing something long and it starts to curve. Don't worry about it. It's perfectly normal. Then we're going to chain 1. That is our turning chain because we are going to turn our work this way. Okay. Now I want you to continue to do this for maybe about 5 rows, 4 or 5 rows. Okay. And just practice doing single crochets. And then we're going to get into double crochets. Make sure you mark your work. Okay. So we're going to find the stitch. If you have to count back, count back. It is right here. It's the first stitch. Okay, we're going to make a single crochet and we're going to mark it. Continue marking for every one that you do and do about 4 or 5. Practice it and then come back here and we'll get into the double crochet. All right, so you should have more rows than this because I want you to practice, but if you don't, that's okay. We're just going to keep on going. Yours might not look this nice. They might be a little lopsided. Maybe some stitches look bigger or smaller than others. That's okay because when you keep practicing, yours will look like this over time. So don't worry about that. It's just something that we have to practice. And we're going to get into a project on the next one that's going to give you a lot of practice. And by the time you're done with that, your stitches will look something like this. So don't worry about it. This is learning how to hold the hook, learning where to put your yarn, getting comfortable with making basic stitches. So if it's not consistent, that's perfectly fine. Now we're going to do a double crochet. So if you're at the end of the row, you single crocheted in the last one, what we're going to do is we're going to chain 2, okay? Because this is our turning chain. We're going to do a double crochet, and if you chain 2, that's going to be the height of a double crochet stitch. So you chain 2, and we're going to turn our work. Now for a double crochet, when you did a single crochet, you just put it through and looped over and pulled that through. Double crochet, we're going to wrap it around our hook like this. Okay, so let me show you that again. I'm holding it like this. My work is in this hand, wrapping it around. Okay, and then we're going to put it through the first stitch. Put it through, then we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop. So at this time you have 3 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over and we're going to pull it through 2. Okay. And then we're going to yarn over and we're going to pull it through 2 again. And that is 1 double crochet. So we're going to mark that. So a double crochet is basically like making 2 single crochets. In order to do that, you have to start by wrapping your hook before you go. Okay? So that's kind of how I remembered it when I started. I don't know if it'll help you, but when you do double crochet, first thing you do is you wrap the yarn. Okay, so we're doing a second one. Wrap the yarn, or they call it yarn over. Okay, yarn over. Maybe I yarn under. I don't know, but that's how I do it. Put it through the next stitch, yarn over, pull through. So you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, that's like a single crochet, but you're still going because you're going to make another one on top of it. Yarn over, pull through, and you're done. That is another double crochet. All right, so let's do that one more time. Actually, we're going to do it 9 times or whatever, 8 times. Yarn over, put it inside the stitch, yarn over, pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and there you go. Okay, let's do it again. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and there you go. Okay, yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, so you have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, now you have 2 loops, yarn over, pull through both of those, and that's your double crochet. Yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull up, you have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, and that's your double crochet. Yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and that is your double crochet. Yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that's your double crochet. Yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, that's your double crochet. This is the last one. Yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that is your double crochet. Now you have your first row of double crochet. See the difference? See this row right here, this part, this whole part is your double crochet. These are single crochet. See how the single crochet is tighter? Double crochet has some holes in it, I guess you could say. Okay? So it is quicker to do double crochets on project than it is single crochet, and it's a bit looser. So the single crochet is a bit tighter. It's kind of stiff. Double crochet is a little bit looser. These are the 2 basic stitches that you can make almost anything just with these 2 stitches. You're going to learn other stitches as you go, but these 2 stitches are pretty much the basic. So now we're going to do another row. To do another row, we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, okay, because that's our turning chain. Then we're going to turn our work, and then like I usually tell by pulling it straight, and I know that this is the stitch, but if you can't see it on yours, you can count back from where you marked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you know this one is the stitch that you go in. You got a loop. Yarn over, and then insert it there. Yarn over, pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through. 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through, and there's your first double crochet. And we are going to mark it. Oops. Okay, we're going to mark that stitch so that you don't add or subtract any stitches. And we're going to do the same thing all the way down this row. Okay, yarn over, insert hook, see the stitches there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, there's your double crochet, yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, there's your double crochet, yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, 2, yarn over, pull through 2, there's your double crochet, yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, there's your double crochet, yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, There's your double crochet. Yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. There's your double crochet. Yarn over, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Hopefully me repeating it, you'll get it in your head. Maybe you'll hear my voice. I'm sorry. But we're just going to keep going. We got two more left. So this is the last one. We're going to take the hook off, or the stitch marker off. You see the stitch right there. Yarn over. We're going to get it through that one. Okay. Make the last stitch. And then there you go. Okay, so until I do the next episode, until you watch the next episode, I want you to practice both of these. So maybe you can do a couple of single crochet rows, a couple double crochet rows, and just remember when you do the single crochet, you just chain 1. When you do a double crochet, you chain 2 for the turning. Make sure you mark your ends and practice these stitches, because the more that you practice, the more consistent you'll get with how your stitches look. Okay, so you want to practice them. Just make it, you're not going to throw away this yarn. We're actually going to frog it, but I want you to practice. And then the next one, we're going to start a scarf. Okay, so that'll give you a lot of practice, and we're going to learn how to read patterns in that one. Once you have practiced a lot, or if you just want to start over, to frog it, you just take your hook out and you just pull. And this is called frogging because you rip it, rip it, rip it, which you'll have to do that sometimes. Sometimes it's hard because maybe you made a mistake, but we all been there. We all do it. So this is frogging your work. So when you're done, you just want to do that, and then you can use this yarn for the next project that we're going to do. Okay, so I want you to practice the single crochet, the double crochet, keeping track of where you are on the start and the end with these. And I want you to practice the chaining at the end and turning it, and then we'll get into the next episode. And I'll see you then later.